Thanks at all. All right, thanks, Jill. Let's see, next up is our association reports. So we have a report tonight from Independence Elementary School. Laurie, are you with us?
Okay, can you guys hear me?
Yes. Sure can.
Hi, Laurie.
All right, well, first of all, hello. Thank you so much for letting me join. And I don't know if Emily has the presentation or if I can share my screen. I have a presentation. Nope, it's disabled. Emily, do you happen to have, is she there? Does she happen to have the
Just working on it.
presentation?
Yep.
Okay, perfect. All right, I got lots of responses back. I sent this out as a Google form asking staff members if they wanted to contribute something to report to the board. And I got lots of responses. So if it's running too long, please let me know and I will cut it shorter. So, all right, go ahead. We'll go to the. So I went through each grade level team, just asking them for some highlights of things going on. Our kindergarten team wanted to let you know that virtual conferences were very successful this year. They mentioned that they were easier to schedule, especially when we had multiple siblings and we had more attendance. Many classes had 100% attendance or very close to being able to connect with families. Also, the kindergarten team really likes the family projects that they've been doing. So for instance, they had in their literature unit, they had their students build a castle from home. And these are pictures that I had just kind of stolen off the web. I didn't have pictures from the actual teachers at the time, just so you know. But they had students build a castle for their literature report. They built a ramp for science. And then for Valentine's Day, they had students draw pictures about kindness and friendship. And then parents take a picture of these different projects and the teachers put them into slideshows. And the kids really enjoy getting to present when their slide comes up. Their Valentine books will be, their Valentine pictures will be put into books that are going to be printed and distributed to students. The kindergarten teachers mentioned this is something they might continue on as we go back in person for future years. So our first grade team wanted to mention that they just finished a science unit on the characteristics of different animal groups. They just last month had a focus on Black History Month. They have been working on their character trait, kindness, through discussion, reading, writing, read alouds, and videos. So that came from the Purposeful People curriculum that we have for our SEL. They have been focusing heavily on phonics, and they're currently working on consonant blends right now. And they're working on subtraction and math and working through gold cards in addition. I'm going to talk a little bit about that when we get to our guiding coalition. As we shift to in-person instruction, they're going to really be narrowing that focus to reading, writing, math, and social emotional learning. So, second grade team, they let me know that they just finished a unit about quilts and their use in the Underground Railroad. So if you have a second grader, you want to ask your students about that. Our third grade team, they have really been loving their science units that they've been teaching. They worked on learning about the bones in the human skeleton. They've been studying animals and classifying them into vertebrates and invertebrates. And they currently are working on different biomes and which animals live in which ecosystem. They have been talking about how animals survive in their particular ecosystem and how communities of animals and plants interact to keep the biomes healthy. They just finished their unit on tundra and they're starting the rainforest right now. And as they finish rainforest, each student will be making a diorama of a rainforest that they're going to be sharing in class. In math, they've been working on multiplication skills through repeated addition and arrays. Our fourth grade team, we've been, oh, sorry, I didn't even introduce myself. I teach fourth grade, by the way, at IES. But our fourth grade team, we've been working on a partnership with Western, and we've been doing math buddies where students are being asked to solve different math problems, and then they are submitting their work through Google Slides and letters to a student over in the education program at WU. And we are actually just finishing up our math buddy program and preparing to do a virtual meet with everybody together where we can meet each other and get to meet our pen pals and those who have been helping us through the math problems. Students have really been showing perseverance by working through their goal cards, which again, I'll talk about in a minute. And it was really fun because we just finished a unit on Pioneers of Flight, talking about clear back, from the Wright brothers and through all throughout history. And it was really fun because as we were finishing this unit, it happened to be when we had the Mars landing happening, and they released the Ingenuity video that was live. And we had our first controlled flight on another planet. I know I had one student in my class that was so excited when I mentioned, this is history in the making. It's the first controlled flight on another planet. She says, oh my goodness, I'm so excited. I'm going to start crying. And she wanted to go tell her parents right away. And so it was really exciting seeing the enthusiasm. For 5th grade, they had lots to say. They wanted to let you know they start each morning with their social emotional learning. And so they spend about 10 to 15 minutes working on a lesson for the character trait for the month. They discuss the definition of this trait, what it looks like, what it feels like. They just finished kindness last month, and this month they're working on empathy. They have been working their way through the ELA, for ELA, the K-12 curriculum, and they take that information, they're breaking out the key elements of the lesson and creating slide decks to make it more comprehensive to students. They have been focusing on letter writing, and right now they're just now diving into informative writing. With math, they've been working on division and multiplication strategies for whole numbers, as well as adding and subtracting fractions. They're currently working on multiplication and division of fractions and mixed numbers. In health, they began with the digestive system and which parts of the body aid in that process. And they thought it was really fun because they traveled through the system with videos and a scientist who actually swallowed a pill-sized camera so they could get an inside look of that digestive system. They have moved into the cardiovascular and circular systems right now. And in science, they've been studying matter and energy and organisms and ecosystems. All right, around our school PE, lessons are focused on getting students up, moving, and dancing. Ms. Greiner has been teaching about how to take care of your heart, your body, and your brain. And she says students are learning about health-related physical fitness concepts like cardiovascular endurance, muscular strength, endurance, and flexibility. She uses Tabata type workouts, and they've been doing scarf juggling. And she has kind of a head-to-head challenge that she does with students where they can try to beat the teacher. And so students are challenged to do more of whatever activity it is they're choosing than the teacher, so they can choose to challenge the teacher. She also has been having dance party balance challenges, and she has started some afternoon clubs with wellness warriors for the K-12 students, fitness fanatics for the 3-5 students. And on Fridays, we have a Feel Fine Friday dance party. This is a school-wide dance party, and she's loving, she mentions that whole families will join in. She'll get younger siblings that are not quite school age yet, or parents that are joining in. It's so fun to see the involvement going on there. With music, Mr. Roberts has been working a lot on building relationships through Pear Deck. And so he'll play different 4-corner getting to know you activities where the students are choosing which corner based on certain questions. So he might ask, you like mint chocolate chip ice cream or Rocky Road, or, different things, and the students choose which corner, and they get to see how they're alike and different. Students have been working on a recorder unit for grades 3 through 5. They've been doing recorder karate, where they can earn different belts as they pass different levels. He also has been holding recorder clubs after school. One of those is called BAG, and that's where they're focusing on songs with the musical notes B, A, and G. And then there's another one that he does on the other days of the week that are BAG and Beyond, where they're focusing on more advanced musical notes past B, A, and G. So you can choose which one you want to join, or he has some students that choose both. And they're playing popular songs, folk songs, and games through recorders. For the K-2 students, they've been exploring sounds using their own voices can make, learning new songs, moving with scarves, creating new patterns with body percussion, and playing lots of games. Our PBIS team has been working hard. We do bi-weekly golden ticket drawings. So this is an example of a a golden ticket that students can earn if they're showing that they're being safe, respectful, or responsible, and how they were able to model that character trait. These go into a big drawing drum at the school where we have live drawings that are, they're live drawings that are recorded, and we play them for the students, and then their prizes are hand delivered to the students if they win. We also have PBIS videos that are covering, we've been working really hard on covering the expectations that we're going to have as we transition into limited in-person instruction. Our guiding coalition, this is where you've been hearing about those different steps. So based off of the work of John Hattie and visible learning feedback, where students can see where they are on a continuum. So instead of just doing a quiz and, hey, I got 80% or I got a different percentage, what happens here is we've started at kindergarten and mapped all the way through 5th grade. We started with addition, and this is a continuum where students can find where they are on that continuum and be able to see as they're progressing through the different steps of mastering addition. We're going to be working on subtraction, multiplication, division, and also moving into reading skills and really pulling out those core standards. But it gives students a very visual learning of where they fall on this continuum and where they're going and where they've come from. So it's very exciting. Our ELD group, Ms. Stoltz has been working at co-planning and co-teaching with each grade level. We're continuing to collectively work together to incorporate oral language strategies to increase academic language in classrooms. And she's been working on some great professional development from Ms. Stoltz, our ELD TOSA, on virtual engagement strategies for our early bilingual learners. So, and those are focusing on explicit vocabulary instruction and peer-to-peer interactions. Our special education group, students are attending their virtual groups and making huge growth. They wanted to give a shout out to our SPED assistants who have been very flexible and accommodating with many changes in scheduling, which is very fitting with our oh my goodness, my mind went blank, but with our Classified Appreciation Week, I'm sorry. Our equity committee, we are actually starting our equity committee over at Independence Elementary School. So tomorrow we have our initial conversation on inviting and encouraging staff to join the building equity committee, advocating for equitable practices amongst staff, students, and families. We currently have 2 staff members that are on the district equity team. That's Mr. Roberts and Tony Castle. Our SEL, we've been integrating purposeful people curriculum into everyday instruction in our classrooms. We also have monthly trait awards that go along with with our SEL curriculum. So we'll find a student that has been showing empathy, for instance, and choose a student that is awarded that character trait. We have a video where they're presented with their certificate, and then prizes are brought to home or sent to their houses. We also have monthly videos that go out explaining the character trait each month. And then Ms. Weeks has been carrying on a lunch bunch with students Tuesday through Fridays. Ms. Weeks is our school-based mental health associate, and she hosts these lunches, and students get to join for peer connection, to improve social skills. They play games, they check in with a variety of different age groups and students from different classrooms. So it's also a chance for students to interact with others who aren't in their classroom. Mental health support, our school-based mental health associate, again, Ms. Weeks, meets one-on-one with students who are in need of extra support. So parents can refer students or teachers, or students might ask for support, and they can sign up for that. We also have our resource connection, and this is where we are delivering food boxes to deliveries to families that are in need. We distribute extra school supplies for families that may be in need. We connect families with resources in order to obtain housing or pay bills that they may not have the funds for, and basically supporting families to make sure that basic needs are being met and that their homes are comfortable. For instance, helping get furniture or blankets if families might need that. So Our last slide right here, I know I've been talking a lot. Our attendance committee has been working really hard on recognizing students monthly through a Star Wars themed grade level videos. And so students get to see their name scroll across the screen, and they're broken into subdivisions. We have our super attenders that show up for all core instruction 100% of the time. We have our pioneer attenders that show up 95% of the time. And then just this last month, we added our super attenders. And that includes the students who have not only 100% attendance for their core curriculum classes, but they're also showing up in those afternoons for their PE and music class. So they're there consistently all the time. So, and that's what I have to share with you of some of the happenings. I also wanted to add in there, I don't have a slide for it, but we have been running our targeted limited in-person instruction at the school. That has been going great. Students are excited to be back. They're following the safety protocols. Really have made, it's great seeing these students. These were some of our students that we were having a harder time connecting with for various reasons, and they're coming into the building and have been now for a little while. And so we're able to connect with more students. So we're super excited. Starting tomorrow, also, our K1 students come back for limited in-person instruction. And then the following week, we'll be bringing back our 2nd and 3rd grade. And then that 3rd week, our 4th and 5th grade students will be back. So we're pretty excited to get to see faces again and get to interact with the students.
Thank you very much.